All right, so today's going to be a juicy video. I'm going to talk about how to get rich. So if you look at this, before we get into that, there's this funny video from this comedian about why Chinese people love money. But anyway, let's focus back on the content. All right, so the first way to get rich is to get a high-paying job that has a high moat to entry, such as doctor, lawyer, FANG, software engineer, or high-frequency trading. FANG stands for Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. SWE stands for software engineer. HFT stands for high frequency trading. And people that work at high frequency trading can make a lot of base salary. Okay, next one. Join a unicorn startup and go public. All right, next one. Start a business and scale business to millions and millions of users and make profit as a result, hopefully. Another idea is to buy a business and force the business to pay off the loan. So think about this is so if this one unicorn startup venture capital whatever this one is equity finance, right? Where people give you money and you give the investors a piece of your business. This one is called debt finance, where you take debt. I mean, you take money from the bank and you have to pay off the loan. So think of this as like Dan Pena QLA is an example. Another example is KKR. Um, so there's this dude called Henry Kravitz, and he started this company called KKR. I think it's a private equity company, and what they do is they pretty much just buy com buy they borrow money to buy companies and force the companies to pay off the loan. This strategy is really popular actually among like rich people. So this guy is called Aristotle Onassis. I found out about him from Dan Pena, but he was one of the richest people on earth at some point, probably in the 19 uh, 50, 60. I forgot. Whenever the John F. Kennedy was what, or that's at around that time. Like he was like the richest guy, and he was in the shipping industry. So what he did was basically use loans to buy businesses and consolidate, basically be a monopolist. Pretty cool. All right, JK. Yeah, so if you take a look at this strategy of taking money from the bank and then using the business to pay off the loan, one of the downsides is if it doesn't go well, you might be ripping some people off, right? So this guy, his name is Joshua Kim, and he's one of Dan Pena's mentees. So there's this video testimonial of him talking about how great the Dan Pena seminar is. But if you take a look at him today, right? If you search Joshua Kim Colea Healthcare Puerto Rico, you'll see that he has some lawsuits against him, and I think Joshua moved to Puerto Rico. So yeah, I guess this debt finance strategy is contingent on whether or not you can pay off the loan. Otherwise, you've got some lawsuits on your hand. All right. Before we get to this one, uh, another idea is to marry rich and divorce rich. So let's pretend that you're a woman and you marry a rich athlete or a rich billionaire. Then this strategy works for you. If you're a guy, I don't think typically this would work as well. All right, this one is teach people how to get rich and sell online courses. All right, so this is your typical finfluencer guru, digital marketing courses online, or like just courses online in general. Okay, or drop shipping courses, whatever. Yeah. Another idea, which I just shown earlier, is to scam investors and go to jail. I guess that might not be your goal, but basically, you might happen to scam investors and go to jail. So think about like Enron or um, Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX, as well as Theranos with Elizabeth Holmes. Another idea is to get a lot of attention and be an influencer on YouTube. And if you get enough eyeballs, and you may start to make money. Another idea is to win the lottery. Another idea is to uh, let's see, rob the bank, right? Or actually, yeah, I guess, yeah. All right, another idea, like I said, besides robbing the bank, is to kidnap a billionaire's son. So in Hong Kong, there was the richest man in Hong Kong. His name is uh oh, in Cantonese, his name is Lei Ga-seng. So this richest man in Hong Kong, his son was kidnapped by this dude called um in uh I don't know how to say it in English, but in Chinese, I mean Mandarin, it's called Zhang Ziqiang, and Cantonese it's called Zheng Zikeng. So this dude, this gangster, kidnapped the richest man in Hong Kong's son, um, which worked out great for him. He got a big payday, but later he kidnapped, I think, the second richest man in Hong Kong's wife or something, and that didn't work out as well. So I guess you got to think about sustainability here. Um, let's see. Oh, another idea is to write a book and get royalty payments. So if you're like a popular children's kids author, like the Wimpy Kid books or something, or like you're J.K. Rowling and you wrote Harry Potter series, then this would work out really well for you. Another idea is to counterfeit the money, right? Like, why try to earn money when you can just print money yourself, even though it's totally illegal? All right, let's go to the next one. This one is about buying a house and have the tenant pay off the mortgage. So this is similar to debt finance, but instead of debt finance where you're buying a business and forcing the business to pay off the loan, here you're buying a house and you're forcing the house, aka the renter, the to pay off the mortgage. So again, this works really well if the housing market is rising and all that, but if um, your tenants aren't paying your rent, that could be a problem. Another idea is Forex trading. All right, let's jump back to Forex trading. So Forex trading here is trying to trade currencies like US currency versus Japanese yen or Japanese yen versus Chinese yuan, etc., whatever. And this one's super risky. So, I mean, there is upside, but there's even bigger downside. So what we have on the right hand side is an example of this company called Tycoon Trading. It's from Anchorage, Alaska, and basically there's this dude, his last name is Elder. He pretty much did forex trading for his accredited investor clients. But what happened is maybe he started to lose money or something, so he tried to pretend like he didn't, and then it was a scam, and then eventually his clients didn't get any money. So think of Ponzi scheme, I guess. All right. Another idea is private money lending. So this is basically where you lend out money to people and you charge an interest on it, high interest on it. All right, cool. Next one is called options trading. So this is where you go into the stock market and you trade options. You can learn more about this online on YouTube, but like I said, this is super duper risky. You should watch my SOXL video about a triple leverage ETFs and how dangerous those can be. All right. Another one is called Vatical settlements, or maybe it's called viatical settlements. The idea here is that there's an old man or woman or whatever, and they have a whole life insurance policy, and they don't have enough money to fund that thingy. So what you do is you swoop in and you say, "Hey, old man or old woman, I'm gonna pay your whole life insurance policy, and when you die, the proceeds go to me." So the idea here is that you're funding someone else's a whole life insurance policy, and you basically hope that they die quickly so that you can get a payday. Um, Another idea is to do sex work or only F. All right. This is typically women would do this, um, but there's consequences to this one. Like you may, like if you do this, it won't be so easy to lock down a relationship in the future. All right, cool. Now, let's take a look at this one. So this one is letting other people use your credit. All right, let's skip that. Another idea is to claim to be a state citizen and avoid federal income taxes and lose your social security number. So for this one, I was watching on YouTube, there's this guy called Christopher Gronsky. He's in New Hampshire, and he basically has this idea. I don't know if it's legit idea or not, but the idea is that you can be a state citizen and but not a federal citizen. If you think about it long enough ago, right? back when Benjamin Franklin was alive, right? Like founding fathers times I'm talking about, right? People back then they say that they're from their state. They didn't there's no concept of they're like a US citizen. Like Ben Franklin would have said that he's a Pennsylvanian, for example. So at some point along the way, I think it was because of Civil War with Lincoln and stuff. Lincoln created the 14th Amendment citizen, where he took all the blacks and he grouped them all into the 14th Amendment citizen category. So pretty much everyone else is like a citizen of their state, but the blacks were became a citizen of the federal government. And pretty much now today, all of us, including you watching the video, are now also grouped under 14th Amendment citizen. And apparently, the state citizens have more rights than the federal citizens. Um, so, I mean, you can look into it a little more, but I guess the idea here is that if you're a state citizen, assuming this is like a real thing, then you would lose your social security number because that's associated with the federal government, right? And so the idea here is that you would pay state taxes, but you don't need to pay federal income tax. All right, let's scroll down. Um, Another idea is to learn a trade, i.e., like plumbing or electrician, etc. Another idea to get rich, in theory, is to flip products such as sneakers or Little Tikes bouncy castles or do drop shipping. And you can learn more from the YouTube channel called According to Nicole. That channel also talks about plant propagation, which is you cut off little snippets of a plant, like it's a branch from some kind of a plant, and then you would sell it that you would take that branch, stick it in a jar of water to keep it alive, and then you would flip it for profit. All right. Another idea is to become a contractor and be a niche expert in your field, right? So anybody that, so basically you're the expert in your area. Okay, let's go down to the next one. This one is to push personal assets into business expenses. So if you have a business of your own, the idea here is you try to force all your personal expenses into the business. So, like, let's say you create like inside of your house, you have one of your rooms as a home office. Like, you designate it as home office. So then you tell the IRS that, hey, this is a home office, so um, tax deduction. Or you plaster your car full of stickers that advertise your business, and then you tell the IRS that, hey, my car is a walking billboard, tax deduction. All right, let's go to this one. So this one is from the YouTube channel called Onsite Trav, and he talks about crossing the US border with US Mint gold coins face value. So the idea here is that in the US, there's two types of money. There's Federal Reserve notes, which is the paper, and then there's also the US minted gold coins. And those are a lot more valuable. Like you might have a gold coin that is like a US Gold Eagle that is face value $20, but actually today it's probably like hundreds of dollars. So the idea is, let's say the US has a limit that you can only take $9,000 across the border. Well, $9,000 of Federal Reserve notes is a lot less than $9,000 face value of US minted Gold Eagle coins. All right. Another idea here is to convert USD to Canadian and then buy Gold Eagle coins. And then you tell the IRS that you took a net loss in foreign currency trading. So the idea is you have USD that converts to Canadian dollars and then it converts back to US dollars. And but because this US dollar Federal Reserve note is not the same as this this a US dollar, which is a gold coin, it appears like you lost value, right? Because let's say you have like $500 USD, it's not going to convert to $500 of uh, Gold Eagle coins, right? Like the face value of these Gold Eagle coins is going to be a lot lower, even though the value itself might actually be 500 uh, Federal Reserve notes or something. $500 Federal Reserve notes. Yeah. And so, But anyway, with foreign currency trading, you there's a limit to how much you can lose money that you can report to the government as tax deduction, uh, or tax write-off or whatever. So you have to check with the tax law on this. And then also this you should probably check with a tax professional, and also this you should check with a like a Cornell law professor or something. Because this idea is totally made up by me. It's not legit at all, so totally don't recommend. All right, this other idea is called create a popular website like a nerd wallet and then run advertisements on it. The last idea is to create a software as a service subscription app and add Stripe's integration so that when people add their credit card information, you can keep charging them on a recurring basis until they cancel their subscription. I think this was an interesting video. You probably learned a lot of new ideas that you never heard of anywhere else. I hope you like it, and I'll see you next time. Also, not financial advice. None of this is financial advice.